Mount Nyiragongo is an active stratovolcano with an elevation of 3,470 meters in the Virunga Mountains associated with the Albertan Rift. It is located inside Virunga National Park in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, about 18 kilometers north of the town of Goma and Lake Kivu, and just west of the border with Rwanda. The main crater is about 2 kilometers wide and usually contains a lava lake. The crater presently has two distinct cooled lava benches within the crater wall. One at about 3,175 meters and a lower one at about 2,975 meters. Nyiragongo's lava lake has at times been the most voluminous known lava lake in recent history. The depth of the lava lake varies considerably. A maximum elevation of the lava lake was recorded at about 3,250 meters prior to the January 1977 eruption. A lake depth of about 600 meters. A recent very low elevation of the lava lake was recorded at about 2,700 meters. Nyiragongo and nearby Nyamulagira are together responsible for 40% of Africa's historical volcanic eruption. The volcano partly overlaps with two older volcanoes, Baruta and Shaeru, and is also surrounded by hundreds of small volcanic cinder cones from flank eruptions. The lava emitted in eruption at Nyiragongo is often unusually fluid. Nyiragongo's lavas are made of mineral nephelinite and alkaline-rich type of volcanic rock, whose unusual chemical composition may be a factor in the unusual fluidity of the lavas there. Whereas most lava flows move rather slowly and rarely pose a danger to human life, Nyiragongo's lava flows may race downhill at up to 100 kilometers per hour. This is because of the extremely low silica content. The lava is mafic. Hawaiian volcanic eruptions are also characterized by lavas with low silica content, but the Hawaiian volcanoes are broad, shallow sloped, shield volcanoes in contrast to the steep side cone of Nyiragongo, and the silica content is high enough to slow most Hawaiian flows to walking pace. What's the active history? Not much is known about how long the volcano has been erupting, but since 1882, it has erupted at least 34 times, including many periods where activity was continuous for years at a time, often in the form of churning lava lake in the crater. The existence of the lava lake had been suspected for some time, but was not scientifically confirmed until 1948. At that time, it was measured at nearly 120,000 square meters. Subsequent expeditions showed that the lake fluctuated in size, depth, and temperature over time. The lava lake activity continues through 2010. Currently, the lake is mostly confined within a broad, steep-sided cinder cone on the crater floor, roughly 60 feet high by 600 feet wide. Between 1894 and 1977, the crater contained an active lava lake. On 10 January 1977, the crater was fractured and the lava lake drained in less than an hour. The lava flowed down the flanks of the volcano at speed of up to 60 kilometers per hour. On the upper slopes, overwhelming villages and killing at least 70 people. The hazard posed by eruption like this are unique to Nyiragongo. Nowhere else in the world does such a steep-sided stratovolcano contain a lake of such fluid lava. Nyiragongo's proximity to heavily populated areas increases its potential for causing a natural disaster. The 1977 eruption raised awareness of the unique dangers posed by Nyiragongo, and because of this, it was designated a decade volcano worthy of particular study in 1991. The 1977 eruption was preceded by the creation of a new small volcano, Morara, a short distance away on the slopes of Nyamulagira. Let's talk about 2002 eruption. Satellite image of the eruption plume from Nyiragongo in July 2004, lava lakes formed in the crater in eruption in 1982, 1983, and 1994. Another major eruption of the volcano began on January 17, 2002, after several months of increased seismicity and phonolic activity. A 33-kilometer fissures opened in the south flank of the volcano, spreading in a few hours from 2,080 meters to 1,550 meters elevation, and reaching the outskirts of the city of Goma, the provincial capital of the northern shore of Lake Kivu. Lava streamed from 3 sparse cones at the end of the fissures and flowed in a stream 200 to 1,000 meters wide and up to 2 meters deep through Goma. Warnings had been given and 400,000 people were evacuated from the city across the Rwandan border into neighboring Gisenyi during the eruption. Lava covered the northern end of the runway at Goma International Airport, leaving the southern two-thirds usable, and reached Lake Kivu. This raised fear that the lava might cause gas-saturated waters deep in the lake to suddenly rise the surface, releasing lethally large amounts of carbon dioxide and methane, similar to the disaster at Lake Nyos in Cameroon in 1986. Excuse me. This did not happen, but volcanologists continue to monitor the area closely. About 145 people died in the eruption from asphyxiation by carbon dioxide and buildings collapsing due to the lava and earthquakes. At least 15% of Goma, comprising 4,500 buildings, were destroyed, leaving about 120,000 people homeless. Immediately after the eruption stopped, a large amount of earthquakes were felt around Goma and Gisenyi. This swarm activity continued for about 3 months and caused the collapse of more buildings. 6 months after the start of the 2002 eruption, Nyiragongo volcano erupted again. Activity at Nyiragongo is ongoing, but currently confined to the crater, where another lava lake has formed about 250 meters below the level of the 1994 lava lake. What is ongoing threat? Localized carbon dioxide toxicity, known locally as Mazuku, has killed children even more recently. In locations where the gas seeps from the ground in relatively high levels without the dispersing effect of winds, its effect can be deadly. On March 8, 2016, Goma Volcano Observatory discovered a new vent that opened in the northeast edge of the crater, following local reports of rumblings coming from the volcano. Some fear that this could lead to a flank eruption. How do we monitor these volcanoes? The volcano is monitored by a team of scientists at the Goma Volcano Observatory. It is monitored 24 hours, 7 days, 365 days a year, with seismic data produced and sent every 4 minutes and temperature data produced every 10 minutes. Seismology department, we do monitor the volcano using 4 departments. The first department is seismology department, which is in charge of monitoring seismology swarms, magmatic seismicity and tectonic seismicity, which can trigger volcanic eruption. By the way, when you consider the 1977 eruption as well as the 2002 eruption, they were triggered by a tectonic seismicity. That's why we do closely also monitor tectonic seismicity. The other department is the geochemistry department, which is in charge of monitoring SO2 volume released by Nyiragongo. In normal situations, this volume is between 1,000 and 12,000 tons a day. And the department also monitors CO2 in fractures. When we are in crisis, this amount of CO2 can reach even 90,000 tons a day, as was the case in 2002 eruption. The third department is a deformation department, which is almost known as geology department, which is in charge of measuring the temperatures in the fractures and opening up of fractures. By the way, people should understand that given the thermodynamics of Nyiragongo volcano, it can no longer erupt from the main crater. As I said, there is a lava lake inside at about 600 meters depth. So in case of an eruption, it can only come out from fractures which are spread all over Goma town. That's why we do monitor these volcanoes using these fractures which are in Goma city. And finally, we do use remote sensing for monitoring these volcanoes. And with remote sensing, we can get thermal radiation, we can get the volume of gas release, which are indications for the volcano activities.